All right, get ready because we are going dup today
Hell yeah.
into how to talk so kids will listen and listen. So kids will talk.
Okay.
You know, kind of the like parenting Bible, been around forever.
Yeah.
But we're not just like skimming the surface here.
No.
We're really going for those aha moments, the
Yeah.
stuff that actually changes how you interact with your kids.
Really looking for that practical advice that you could actually use, right?
Yeah,
And this book is packed with it.
it is.
And I think what we're going to do is try to unearth those gems.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help everyone listening build a stronger connection with their kids, even amidst the chaos of daily life.
Let's be honest, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
The tantrums,
Yeah.
the constant questions, those moments when you feel like you're talking to a brick wall.
Totally.
But this book suggests it doesn't have to be a battle.
It really doesn't.
Imagine if those tough moments became opportunities for connection.
I love that.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be life-changing.
It
One of those fundamental things that this book emphasizes is the power of simply acknowledging your child's feelings.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Mhm.
We hear this all the time as parents,
Yeah.
but honestly, why is acknowledging their feelings so crucial?
Right.
Doesn't it just encourage more whining?
Well, I mean, think about it this way. When you are having a rough day and someone just brushes you off, it probably makes you feel even worse.
Yeah.
Right. But when someone really listens, even without offering solutions,
Yeah.
it can make a world of difference.
Totally.
Kids are the same way.
Okay, so instead of jumping into problem-solving mode
Right.
or dismissing their feelings,
Uh-huh.
we need to actually stop and listen.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice?
So the book lays out a really helpful 4-step process.
Okay.
First, give your child your undivided attention.
Okay.
Put down your phone,
Mm-hmm.
turn off the TV,
Uh-huh.
make eye contact.
Yeah.
Really show them that they have your full focus.
So basically be present.
Yes.
Not just physically, but mentally too.
Exactly. It's harder than it sounds, but it sends such a powerful message to your child that you value what they have to say.
Yeah.
The next step is to simply acknowledge their feeling with a word or two.
Oh.
Oh, Or, I see.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
Just like that?
that's simple.
That seems almost too simple.
It might seem small,
Yeah.
but it shows your child that you're paying attention and taking their emotions seriously.
Okay.
It validates their experience without judgment.
I can see how that could diffuse a tense situation.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I hear you and I'm here for you.
Exactly.
What's the third step?
Next, you give the feeling a name.
Okay.
That sounds frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
You seem disappointed.
Yeah.
Or, you must be so excited.
Okay.
This helps your child develop emotional literacy and understand their own internal world.
It's like putting a label on those big, messy feelings so they can start to make sense of them.
Totally.
That's really powerful.
It is.
And finally, step 4.
This one's my favorite. It's called Granting Wishes in Fantasy.
Okay.
Now, before you picture yourself buying your kid every toy they point at,
Yeah.
hear me out.
Okay.
It's not about giving in to every demand.
Okay. I'm listening.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What does it actually involve?
It's about acknowledging their desires
Okay.
and showing empathy, even when you can't give them what they want in reality.
Okay.
So let's say your child is begging for candy at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, no, we're not getting candy,
Yeah.
you could try something like, I wish we could buy all the candy in the store. Wouldn't that be amazing?
So you're meeting them where they are emotionally without giving in to the actual request.
Exactly.
That's clever.
I think so.
It's about validating their feelings without creating a power struggle.
Right.
The book provides some great real-world examples of how these steps can play out.
It does.
Ooh, I love examples.
Okay, great.
Give you one. Imagine this. Your child is throwing a tantrum because they want to stay at the playground longer.
Yeah.
Instead of getting frustrated, you get down on their level, acknowledge their disappointment,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, I wish we could stay here all day and swing forever. Wouldn't that be fun?
Okay.
Then you might suggest, hey, why don't we draw a picture of us swinging when we get home?
That's brilliant. You're validating their feelings,
Yes.
redirecting their energy,
Right.
and even incorporating a bit of art therapy.
That's right.
I love it.
I do too.
It's all about shifting your approach from dismissing their feelings to understanding them.
Right.
This book suggests it can make all the difference.
I think so.
Okay, so we've covered the first big idea, acknowledging feelings.
Yes.
But what about those times when our kids seem to have selective hearing?
Okay, yeah.
You know those moments when they completely ignore everything we say?
Uh-huh.
It's like talking to a brick wall.
Totally.
And it can be incredibly frustrating. Every parent has been there.
I think so.
How to talk takes a completely different approach to dealing with these situations than traditional discipline.
It does.
Instead of resorting to punishments,
Yeah.
it emphasizes teaching, collaboration, and mutual respect.
It really does.
Okay, I'm all about ditching the punishments.
Good.
What's the alternative?
So it's a 6-step framework for handling those tough moments.
Okay.
Think of it as a roadmap for navigating those frustrating situations when your child just isn't listening.
Lead the way.
Okay.
I'm ready for step 1.
First, you need to express your feelings clearly but respectfully.
Okay.
It's about stating your emotions without attacking your child's character.
So instead of saying, you never listen to me,
Right.
I might say something like, I'm feeling frustrated because I've asked you to clean your room several times and it's still not done.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about focusing on the behavior, not labeling your child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to model healthy emotional expression for them.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm showing them how to communicate their own feelings in a constructive way.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, what's step 2?
The next step is to clearly state your expectations.
Okay.
This helps your child understand exactly what you need from them.
So in the messy room example, I might follow up by saying, I expect you to clean your room before dinner.
Precisely.
Okay.
Be direct, clear, and concise. It leaves less room for misinterpretation.
Okay, I'm liking this framework so far.
Yeah.
It feels much calmer and more collaborative than my usual approach.
Good.
I can already see how it could lead to less yelling and more connection.
I love that.
Okay, what about step 3?
Step 3 is all about guiding your child to make amends.
Okay.
This isn't about punishment.
Right.
It's about helping them learn from their mistakes
Okay.
and take responsibility for their actions.
So instead of just lecturing them about their messy room,
Yeah.
I might say, hey, let's put on some music and tackle this together.
Okay.
I hope you get started.
That's the spirit. You're turning a potentially negative experience into a chance to connect and work as a team.
It's like we're partners in crime, tackling that mountain of clothes and toys together.
I love it.
Okay, step 4.
Okay.
What's next?
Offering a choice.
Okay.
This one is powerful because it gives your child a sense of control
Okay.
and empowers them to make decisions.
So instead of saying, you have to clean your room right now,
Yeah.
I might give them options.
Okay.
Would you rather clean your room before dinner or after? It's up to you,
Uh-huh.
but it needs to be done by bedtime.
Exactly.
Okay.
It puts the decision-making in their hands while still maintaining those clear boundaries.
It's a win-win.
Yes.
They feel empowered, and I get a clean room eventually.
Right.
I'm liking this a lot.
Good.
What about step 5?
Consistency is key here.
Okay.
Whatever consequences or choices you've outlined, follow through with them.
Okay.
This builds trust
Mm-hmm.
and shows your child that you mean what you say.
So, no empty threats. If I say they lose screen time if they don't clean their room,
Right.
I have to actually follow through,
Yes.
even if it's inconvenient,
Yep.
or I'd rather just let it slide.
That's right.
Okay.
Consistency is one of the most important things in parenting.
Yeah,
It creates predictability and stability for your child.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, last step. Step 6. Bring it on.
This one is all about problem solving together
Okay.
instead of dictating solutions.
Right.
You involve your child in the process.
Okay.
This fosters communication,
Uh-huh.
collaboration,
Mm-hmm.
and critical thinking.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
So instead of just telling them how to clean their room,
Right.
we might sit down together and brainstorm ideas for how to make it more organized
Okay.
or how to make cleaning more fun.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can ask questions like,
Mhm.
what are some things that make cleaning difficult for you?
Yeah.
Or, what ideas do you have for making this easier?
Okay.
It shows them that you value their input and respect their perspective.
This whole framework is so different from how I used to approach these situations.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so much more respectful and collaborative.
Oh,
I can already see how it could lead to less yelling and more connection.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
This book challenges us to shift our mindset from control to collaboration.
Okay, so we've talked about acknowledging feelings
Yeah.
and navigating those moments when our kids are testing our patience.
Right.
What other gems does this book have in store for us?
Well, the book goes beyond just managing those challenging moments
Okay.
and talks about proactively encouraging cooperation and building a positive relationship with your child.
Okay.
One of the key concepts it emphasizes is fostering autonomy and respect.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm all about raising independent, capable kids.
Good.
How do we actually foster that autonomy
Right.
in a way that feels respectful and supportive?
It starts with simple things like offering choices whenever possible. Instead of dictating every aspect of their lives, give them opportunities to make decisions,
Okay.
even if they're small ones.
Oh,
Think about the classic morning routine battles.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Right.
The struggle to get dressed, brush their teeth, eat breakfast. It's
Oh.
exhausting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So instead of battling over what they wear,
right.
lay out 2 outfits and let them choose.
Okay.
Instead of forcing them to eat a certain breakfast,
Yeah.
offer a couple of healthy options.
It's those little choices that give them a sense of ownership over their lives.
Yeah.
I get it.
Good.
What else can we do to encourage that sense of autonomy?
The book also talks about the importance of respecting their struggles.
Okay.
It can be tempting to jump in and fix everything for our kids,
Yeah.
but it's crucial to let them grapple with challenges and learn to problem solve on their own.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm totally guilty of this.
Right.
I just want to make things easier for them. But I realize I might be doing them a disservice in the long run.
It's a natural instinct.
It is.
But remember, those struggles are where the real learning and growth happen.
That's true.
So next time your child is struggling to build that Lego tower
Okay.
or tie their shoes,
Mm-hmm.
resist the urge to take over.
Okay.
Instead, offer support and encouragement.
So instead of swooping in and saving the day,
Yes.
I might say, that looks tricky. I remember when I first learned to tie my shoes, it took a lot of practice.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can offer gentle guidance without taking over.
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about making an X with the laces?
Okay.
It's about providing support while still allowing them to own the process.
What about those times when they come to us with a million questions?
Okay.
Sometimes it feels like a never-ending barrage of why and how come.
It's all part of their natural curiosity.
It is.
But the book suggests
Yeah.
that instead of always giving them the answers,
Mm-hmm.
we should try turning the question back to them.
Oh, okay.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love that.
Yeah,
It encourages them to think critically and come up with their own conclusions.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if they're truly stumped, you can guide them toward resources.
Okay.
I bet we could find the answer in one of your science books.
Right.
Or maybe we could ask Grandma. She knows a lot about plants.
Mm-hmm.
It's about fostering that love of learning
Yeah.
and showing them that knowledge is all around us.
It's about empowering them to be active seekers of knowledge,
Yes.
not passive recipients.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
Good.
Is there anything else we should keep in mind when it comes to fostering autonomy and respect?
The book emphasizes the importance of never taking away hope.
Okay.
Kids need to feel like their dreams and aspirations are valid,
Right.
even if we have doubts or concerns.
So even if my child announces they want to be an astronaut,
Yeah,
and I secretly think that's a bit of a long shot, I should still be supportive and encouraging.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of focusing on the potential obstacles
Yeah.
or the likelihood of success,
Uh-huh.
focus on their passion and their enthusiasm.
Okay.
You might say,
Mhm.
wow, being an astronaut, that's a dream that takes a lot of courage and dedication.
Yeah.
What excites you most about space exploration?
It's about nurturing their dreams, not squashing them with our own fears or doubts.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can always guide them toward resources and opportunities to learn more about their interests,
Mm-hmm.
even if they're not ultimately attainable.
So even if they don't end up on the moon, they've gained valuable knowledge and a sense of possibility along the way.
Right.
I love that perspective. This book is really challenging me to rethink how I approach parenting.
Good, I'm glad.
It's all about shifting those subtle patterns in our communication
Yes,
that can make a huge difference in our relationships with our kids.
I think so.
Okay, I'm ready for more. What's another game-changing concept from this treasure trove of parenting wisdom?
One of my favorite parts of the book is the discussion of descriptive praise and positive framing.
Okay.
It's about moving beyond generic praise like, good job,
Okay.
and offering more specific and meaningful feedback
Mm-hmm.
that focuses on effort and process, not just outcomes.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm all about ditching the empty praise
Good.
and finding ways to genuinely encourage my kids.
Okay.
Tell me more.
So imagine your child has spent an hour building an elaborate Lego creation.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You might say,
Yeah.
wow, I see how much time and effort you put into building that spaceship.
Okay.
I especially love the way you used all those different colors and shapes.
It's about acknowledging the specific things they're doing well
Yes.
and highlighting their effort and creativity.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it shows them that we're truly paying attention,
Yeah.
not just going through the motions with generic praise. Another powerful aspect of this concept is freeing children from playing roles.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand this one.
Okay.
What does it mean to free them from playing roles?
It's about challenging those negative labels that can sometimes get attached to kids.
Okay.
You know, things like crybaby, messy, or clumsy.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely heard those labels thrown around,
Mhm.
and sometimes I catch myself using them.
It's so easy to do.
It is.
But the book suggests that these labels can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
So if we constantly tell a child they're messy,
Yeah.
they're more likely to embrace that identity
Right.
and not even bother trying to be tidy.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if we focus on their positive qualities
Right.
and offer opportunities for them to demonstrate responsibility, we can help them break free from those limiting roles.
So instead of calling my child messy,
Yeah.
I might say,
Hmm.
hey, I noticed how organized your bookshelf is.
Okay.
You did a great job arranging your books.
That's a great example.
Okay.
You're highlighting a specific positive behavior
Yeah.
and helping them see themselves in a new light.
Okay.
The book also provides some other techniques for reframing perceptions.
I'm all ears.
Okay.
Give you all of the tips and tricks.
One simple yet powerful technique is to share positive observations about your child with others
Okay.
within their earshot.
Mm-hmm.
So you might say to a friend,
Yeah.
you know, my son has been so helpful around the house lately.
Okay.
He even offered to wash the dishes last night without me asking.
So it's like sneaking in those positive affirmations
Yeah.
while still making them feel authentic and genuine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it plants those positive seeds in their minds,
Mm-hmm.
helping them see themselves as capable and helpful.
You can also model positive behavior yourself.
That's right.
That's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are always watching us,
They are.
even when we think they're not paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want them to be respectful, kind, and helpful,
Mhm.
you need to embody those qualities yourself.
It's all about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other reframing techniques we should know about?
Another simple but effective strategy is to reminisce about their past achievements.
Okay.
So if your child is struggling with a particular task,
Mm-hmm.
you might say,
Yeah.
remember that time you built that amazing Lego castle?
Okay.
That took a lot of patience and creativity.
Yeah.
I bet you can use those same skills to figure this out.
It's like reminding them of their own superpowers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It helps them tap into those inner resources
Mm.
and build their confidence.
This whole concept of descriptive praise and positive framing
Mhm.
is about creating a more positive and supportive environment
Yes.
where kids feel good about themselves and their abilities.
That's right.
I'm really struck by how this book isn't just about getting kids to behave.
Right.
It's about building a genuine connection with them
Yeah.
and fostering their emotional well-being.
That's the beauty of it.
It is.
It's a holistic approach to parenting
Yeah.
that focuses on nurturing the whole child.
Okay. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with all this amazing information.
It is.
Where do we even begin to implement all these strategies?
Don't worry, you don't have to do everything at once.
Okay.
Pick one or two concepts that resonate with you and start there.
Okay.
Experiment, observe,
Mm.
and see what works best for your family.
That's great advice. Start small, be consistent,
Uh-huh.
and have patience.
Yes.
It's a journey, not a race.
Exactly.
Feels like we've uncovered a whole parenting philosophy here.
It is, right?
Not just a few communication tips.
It really is. This book is all about shifting your perspective and seeing your child as a capable individual,
Yeah.
deserving of respect, understanding, and empathy.
So before we wrap up our deep dive into how to talk, so kids will listen and listen, so kids will talk,
Okay.
let's take a moment to recap
Yeah.
the key takeaways.
Okay.
Where did we even begin?
Well, we started with the foundation of it all, acknowledging feelings.
Yes.
We explored that four-step process,
Yeah.
truly listening, validating those big emotions, giving them names,
Yeah.
and even venturing into the world of granting wishes and fantasy.
I love how those seemingly small shifts in communication
Yeah.
can make a huge difference in how our kids feel heard and understood.
Absolutely. And from there, we moved into those tricky situations when our kids seem to have tuned us out completely.
Right.
Instead of resorting to punishments.
Yeah.
The book suggests a 6-step framework for navigating those moments with grace and collaboration.
We talked about expressing our feelings respectfully, laying out clear expectations,
Yes.
guiding our kids to make amends, not just apologize.
Right.
Then comes the power of offering choices, being consistent with consequences,
Yep.
and ultimately problem solving together.
It's like turning those power struggles into opportunities for connection and learning. And we can't forget about those proactive strategies for encouraging cooperation.
Right.
Like describing what we see, providing information,
Yeah.
and even leaving those playful little notes.
Remember the wet towel on the bed scenario?
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely trying that one.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is.
And then we delved into the heart of fostering autonomy and respect,
Yes.
giving kids choices, respecting their struggles,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging them to problem solve,
Yeah.
and nurturing their dreams, even the seemingly outlandish ones.
It's about empowering them to be independent thinkers and doers,
Yes.
not just obedient followers.
That's right.
And of course, we explored the transformative power of descriptive praise and positive framing.
Yes.
It's about ditching those empty compliments and offering specific, genuine feedback that focuses on effort and process, not just outcomes.
Right.
And we learned how to challenge those limiting labels that can sometimes stick to kids and instead help them see themselves in a more positive light.
Yes.
Whew, we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
But it's important to remember that this isn't about mastering every single strategy perfectly.
Right.
It's about choosing the ones that resonate with you
Yes.
and incorporating them into your parenting toolbox.
Exactly.
Start small, be consistent, and be patient with yourself and your kids.
Yes.
This isn't about instant results.
No.
It's about building a stronger, healthier relationship over time.
And that's a journey worth taking.
It is.
I encourage everyone listening to pick 1 or 2 things that really resonated with you today and try them out this week. See what happens.
As you start to implement these strategies, I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question to ponder.
Okay.
How might these small changes in communication transform your relationship with your child in the long run?
Yeah. What kind of connection could you build?
Right.
What kind of person could you help your child become?
It's something to reflect on as you embark on this journey of more mindful and effective parenting. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll be back again soon with another fascinating exploration of a topic that matters to you.
Until then.
Until then, happy parenting.